Hello and welcome to Polish Teach English channel. I've made some blanks earlier. I sewed small strips of fabric into ribbons of adhesive interlining. Now it's time to use these blanks. In my previous works, I have combined such ribbons with fabrics of dark colors. And this time I decided to try to combine them with a light fabric. I have squares measuring 15 by 15 centimeters. They lie idle, out of order. We will exploit my beautiful sewing machine. What a poor thing, it does not have a day of rest. It was bought by a handicraft blogger. Now I will tell you in great detail how you can assemble this canvas very quickly. I finished all the work of assembling the top in one evening. Well, let's get started. We apply monochromatic squares to the colored strip and sew them one by one with a garland. There are 3 squares on my tapes. At the beginning and at the end of the line, be sure to do back tacks. This is how we work with all the blanks. After that, the blanks must be cut into separate fragments. We get details, squares to which colored strips are sewn on the side. But for my idea, it is necessary that some of the squares are shattered on both sides. Therefore, we tightly overlay these squares on the colored strip and sew them in the same way. Of course, don't forget about the iron. We have all small details. We often have to work with an iron and mini ironing board, which I made myself from a cutting board. It is always at hand. When ironing, the colored strips are welded even more tightly to the adhesive interlining. Smooth the colored seams to the side of the thinner fabric. We begin to build our pattern. I have light squares of different colors. I have arranged them simply in a chaotic order. We will sew a lot at once. Need to save thread and time. We sew with a garland from top to bottom. Be sure to fix the lines. We obtained such long blank rows. After we have sewn the rows, you can separate them and be sure to iron them. We continue to collect further the canvas. We will insert our patchwork strips between the prepared rows. All the fabrics are well glued and they do not stretch. You can easily flash and not be afraid that something will not match. So in parts we connect the entire canvas. We have light squares in different shades. When assembling, we take these into account so that the colors are evenly distributed. This is how it looks ready up. Probably it was necessary to make the plain squares more contrasting, but I did not want to cut new fabric. I had to get rid of the unnecessary shreds. Yes, that's the kind of blogger I am. I believe that patchwork is an element of conscious consumption, when what is at hand is used to create a new thing and not a specially purchased, expensive fabric that is cut. The workpiece I got is not very large, 120 by 145 centimeters. We will sew a small baby blanket. This size can be dealt with on an ordinary household sewing machine. Making a sandwich. On the floor, face down, spread the fabric for the back of the blanket. Lay a layer of padded polyester on top, and then our top. Please note that the fabrics should be 5 to 10 centimeters on each side larger than our top. chip off all layers with special quilting pins. They have a curved shape and they are very sharp and strong. To make it convenient to work, the edges of the workpiece, which have already been chipped, are carefully rolled up with a tube. So we fix the whole canvas. For stitching, we need a sewing machine with a long sleeve platform. An industrial machine is ideal, of course, but we will work on a regular household one. In order for the fabrics to lie flat, we will use a homemade side table. I will do the stitch in the seam, with simple straight lines. Roll the free edge of the blanket into a tube. The size of the blanket is not very large. Please note that we do all the stitch lines in the same direction, from top to bottom. We sew to the edge, cut the threads, and again go to the upper part. We roll up the free edge with a dense tube. After we have completed all the seams in one direction, we will sew the perpendicular rows. Thus, the entire canvas will be divided into squares and rectangles. I know that with such a stitch, it very often happens that the fabrics form flows and distortions. In order to avoid this, it is necessary to carefully chop off the fabric. And also, work with the side table so that all the fabrics lie flat. Because no matter how you align and fasten the fabrics, there will still be displacement due to the weight of this sandwich. The blanket turned out to be 120 by 145 centimeters. If desired, you can increase its size. Just make the sides and attach them through the inlays. But I decided to leave it as it is. Let it be a baby blanket. It remains only to align, cut off the excess fabric, and process the edge with a tape. Hooray! Ready! A small baby blanket plaid, light and warm. It will perfectly decorate the nursery. And it will also be comfortable for a small child to fall asleep under it. By the way, using such patchwork quilts, you can teach your child colors. Look how many shades there are, and it's very interesting to look at it. I hope you'll have a wonderful New Year's and Christmas celebration. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment this video, and see you in the next episode.